The story we read today in Mark 11 about Jesus cursing the fig tree is a peculiar one. It's not a story whose meaning is readily apparent. If we're honest, Jesus' behavior in cursing the fig tree shocks us a bit. It just seems out of character for him. So what's really happening in this story? Well, Jesus has just entered Jerusalem in what we call his triumphant entry. People are shouting and praising, waving palm branches, yet almost immediately after Jesus arrives, he changes the narrative by driving out sellers and money changers from the temple. The religious leaders are furious. By cleansing the temple, Jesus was announcing prophetic judgment on the temple and its purpose. It's this conflict between Jesus and the religious leaders which sheds light on the meaning of the fig tree. Both Matthew and Mark place the cursing of the fig tree right up next to the cleansing of the temple in order for us to see them both through the same lens. Now, I'm not a master gardener, but I think most fruit trees, have a particular season in which they bear fruit. This fig tree was fruitless because it wasn't in season. It had the appearance of being in season. There were leaves on it, but a careful inspection found no figs, no fruit. This fig tree is symbolic of the nation of Israel. God sees Israel as a young fig tree that should be full of fruit, but they were not living up to their promise. They had the appearance, but there was no fruit. Therefore, as Jeremiah prophesied, there will be no figs on the tree, and their leaves will wither. What I have given them will be taken from them. Plainly stated, it's really important to God that we bear fruit, that we're productive in the kingdom of God. The Israelites were not. They squandered their opportunity as God's people. Their temple and their hearts were corrupt. And so Jesus says in Matthew 21, the kingdom of God will be taken away from you and given to a people who will produce its fruit. That's the message of the fig tree. God expects the trees he plants to produce fruit. And so the application for you and me is that Jesus expects his followers to bear fruit as well. We are empowered by God to be fruitful and productive as we abide in him. Jesus encourages his disciples to have outrageous faith, pray bold prayers, practice courageous love and forgiveness, and live godly lives. And in the process, remain connected to the vine so that they can bear even more fruit. I hope you'll use this Holy Week to search your heart and the fruit that you're producing with your life. Ask God to answer your sincere question, is my life bearing the fruit that you desire, God? It's a really important question because as Jesus was fond of pointing out, you can tell a lot about a tree from its fruit.